lights out, and away we go. And Tasos is coming out of turn 1 first, followed by Test and Crafty. And here we go through the guillotine, and gaps have already formed with some of the racers not having the start they were wishing for. As we are going past the Whiplash chicane, we are about to complete lap 1. And that's a massive snap of oversteer that almost sent him into the barrier and probably out of this race. And records are already recorded, ladies and gentlemen, with Tasos getting a personal best and Crafty smashing the track record in his efforts to close the gap to the leader. This is epic.
The cool race graphics you just saw on your screen, they're straight from SmartRace, hands down the best race control app out there. In fact, it's so good
that I actually canceled my Netflix subscription just so I can buy the full version of it. You see, in all honesty, these days, SmartRace is providing me with a lot more entertainment than Netflix ever could. SmartRace's latest update is all about customization, making it look, feel, and work exactly how you want it. So, I did exactly that. I've built my very own custom race screen setup. And in this video, I'll show you how you can too. Alright then, let's dive into it. First, open the SmartRace app on your Android or iOS device. If you haven't downloaded the app yet, well, what are you waiting for? Go to the App Store of your device and press download. Alright, now that we are all aboard, the app will take you straight to the race screen. You can go and race as it is, but it's pretty basic. And the point of this video is to change that to make it more efficient and more intuitive. So look down at the bottom left corner of your screen. There's a button with a little layers icon on. Tap on that. This opens the race screen menu. Now scroll to the bottom and select Edit Current Race Screen. You see a short information pop up on your screen there. Just tap through that, and here we are, the editing screen. This is where the magic happens. Now, the editing screen by itself is what I would call fluid. Everything you see here is interchangeable, but resist the urge to start dragging things around just yet, okay? Before we change anything, we need to get familiar with 3 key aspects of this screen. First up, columns and widgets. The simplest way to explain that is this. A column is one of those black panels you see on your screen. Think of it as a frame, a container of some sort. Inside those frames live the widgets. Widgets are the actual tools, the things that display information. They can show race position, for example, lap times, a pit status, fuel levels, you name it. The other thing to pay attention to here is the width by percentage. This setting controls how wide each column, and by extension the widget inside it, will appear on your screen. For example, setting a column to 100% makes it stretch across the entire screen's width. Set it to 50 and it takes up half, meaning you can fit 2 columns side by side. So when you are building your layout, think of this like a little jigsaw puzzle. Adjusting these percentages is how you shape the overall race screen design. Don't worry if it still feels a bit fuzzy, it's all start to make sense as we move forward. With that established, and while I was mumbling away, I've already gone ahead and created 3 columns side by side, each at 33% width. I've left the top column as it is because it already serves its purpose nicely for what I'm going for. On the left and middle columns, I've added 2 widgets. We'll assign their function a little later. Then I move the menu buttons over to the right column and added an extra widget just below them. Under that, I've created 5 new columns. The top ones is set to 100% width, and the rest are 25 each. The general idea here is this. The top column will serve as the race information panel, displaying live data, driver positions, laps, and other real-time info. Below that, on your left, I'll have track and session records. The stats that motivate and normally reward drivers. In the middle of that, we'll display the lap count, sector times, and car positioning. We're going to use a nice graphic of our track there. And on the right, we'll place control buttons for quick access during the race. All of this sits on the main screen, always visible during the race. Below that section, we'll have everything related to records and post-race data. You need to scroll down to access it, but that's perfectly fine since it's usually the stuff you look at after a race. Or if you're chasing lap records or testing a new car, you can keep it right on your main screen, just a quick swipe away from where you are now. Kind of like your Tinder preferences, right? With the base mapping of our screen setup done, go ahead and press save at the top. That takes us back to the main race screen. And now it's time to start assigning functions to those widgets we created. Starting from the top left, tap the 3 dots on the widgets, then select Configure. This brings you into the widget settings. Tap on Type, and that opens up the full function menu. For this first one, choose Current Session Record, then press Save. There's nothing to display just yet, but you'll notice the label appear up top. Now let's do the same for the next widget. But this time, pick the function labeled Track Record. Moving to the top middle column, we'll set this widget to lap count. So we get that nice big bold number front and center. Just under that, add another widget for best sector times. This one has a few extra settings. First, you need to enter the number of tracked sectors. For me, that's 3, so I'll leave it as it is. Below that, there is an option labeled Experimental. It displays an approximate car position on track. Turn this on. Trust me, you will see why later. Press save, and you see our layout start taking shape. How about that? You may notice a large track layout graphic that doesn't match your actual circuit. Ignore that for now. We'll fix it a bit later. For now, let's move to the control button menu on the right. Tap the top widget, and from the submenu, choose which buttons you want to display. Untick Safety Car and Continue, and leave only the Start button active. We want one large, easy-to-hit Start-Stop button, something you can press under stress without missing. Change the color to red, crank the size to maximum, and press save. And there it is, big, red, and impossible to miss. Next, for the buttons below, untick everything except VSC and SC, and change the color to yellow, since they represent a yellow flag. Set the size to 140%, big enough for quick access, but smaller than our main start button. Moving down again, we'll add a quick link widget to configure the rest of our function buttons. Here, pick whatever suits you the best for your setup. Just make sure to include the menu button so you can easily access anything not shown on the main screen. Once you pick your buttons, Set the color to green and size them to around 90% since they don't need to stand out as much. Hit save, and there it is. Everything we need in a neat and ergonomic layout. Now, let's move down to our record sections. You notice it's not displaying on the main screen. That's because we didn't add widgets to those columns earlier. So let's fix that. Tap the layers icon again, select Edit Current Race Screen, and you see our column still waiting. Add one widget per column, then press Save. For the top one, choose the top list. This will show records across time. For the 4 columns below, pick Record Hunt. Now, each one of these tracks records by controller. So assign a controller number to each. I'm setting the display size to the minimum just to make sure everything fits neatly. I've created 4 of this because I have 4 controllers on my track layout. But if you got more or fewer than that, just adjust accordingly and tweak the size to fit your layout. And with that, our race screen setup is complete and ready for our next event. But before we wrap this up, let me show you a few tricks that can take it to the next level.
Do you like what you see? Do you want more? Want to support the channel, be part of our crew, and enjoy some seriously awesome perks whilst doing it? Well, buckle up, because here's the lowdown. For just $1.49 Australian per month, you become a mate. That's right, you get a loyalty badge that makes you stand out of the crowd. You get early access to all our future videos, your name immortalized in the description section, and priority replies to all your comments. But hold up, it gets better. For $6.99, you level up to Bro. Your name will be written in blood at the end of every video. Plus, you get to shape the show by participating in members-only polls and hang out in the exclusive Bros-Only live chat. Feeling extra fancy? Become a Mega Bro for $19.99. Connect with us on social media for live updates and behind-the-scenes photos, enjoy discounts on merch, and see your name in shining gold on special slot CraftMaster gear because you deserve it. Still not enough? For $59.99, you can become a Super Mega Bro. Get free templates of our builds, troubleshooting help, join our exclusive Super Bro live streams, and even design your own custom merch. And if you're really serious about being the ultimate fan, for $149.99, you'll be my man.
My man!
Enjoy free merch every month and get featured in one of our videos. Yes, you heard that right. So what are you waiting for? Hit that join button under this video, pick your membership level, and join our crew today.
All right then, you remember this problem here? So time to fix this. For that, we're going to get out of the app and go to the SmartRace website itself, where you can also download the app if you haven't done so. Yes, I'm talking to you. You know who you are. So in the web page, we can go to the user manual, which is the path right here. I can't highlight more than that, can I? With that, we're going to scroll down to the Create Your Own SVG way. And we're going to click on the Here button. That will take us to a website called the Carrera Streckenplaner. And if that's too German for you, you can always change the language to English. Here we are. So now it'll make it easier for you to follow the directions. This is where we're going to create our track SVG. But before that, we need to have the track layout. So another useful website is this one here, which is a layout construction site for Carrera. So all the pieces are here. It's good to use the color here so you can tell the different parts. So swapping from one screen to the other, we're going to follow the layout and create that on the SVG planner. Always starting with the start piece and moving forward from there, part by part. If you have sector pieces on your track, like I have here, that's actually represented on the planner by the start piece. So remember to put in that in your layout, because this is where the system actually recognizes the sectors. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Just going from one screen to the other, unless you have a better memory than I have, then you can do it straight on one. So yeah, piece by piece, we're creating our layout on the planner. I got some turns that have combination corners on it. So this is why I prefer to have both screens open. So I'm making sure that I'm not making any mistakes. And here are the last few pieces for the straight, and here it is. This is Erewhon circuit. So take a snapshot of that and download the SVG file. Okay, once we have that, we take a snapshot, and I'm going to crop down to the track itself, because we're going to use that as an image for our track record on the SmartRace app. So I'm saving that as an image. And then we're going to go to this website here, which is a very simple website that can turn SVG icon or image file, if you want, into a text version of it. So if you're not familiar how SVGs actually work, they're different than images. When images, they actually follow pixels on your screen to create a shape. SVGs actually use text. So we're going to download this text and highlight it and copy it. Then we can go back to the SmartRace app, to the menu, and to the track. And we're going to create a new track. I'm going to text the name of my track, which in my case is Erewhon Circuit. And after that, I'm going to put the abbreviation of my choice, because this is what shows up when we're going to select our track. We're going to upload the image, the screenshot we got. So this is not actually, doesn't really fit in there, but that's something we can fix later. So don't worry about it too much. The important part is the SVG data. This is where we're going to paste the SVG text that we got before, and that's done. Press save, and there is our new track layout. So going back, you see it's not there yet. You have to select it, and once you select your track, there it is. How good is that? Now pay attention to this corner down here. Gotcha. Okay, moving forward now, we're going to take our face out of the screen for a moment, and we're going to organize a photo shoot. The things that we're going to take pictures of are new cars and our new drivers, of course. Today I'll be posing as a model, so bear with me for that. And I'm setting a scene which is pretty much a neutral background. In this case, this white blind, so we can cut it off later on. I'm setting up my camera, taking a seat. Unfortunately, my makeup artist was on no show today, so you're gonna have to put up with my real face. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Always remember to attack the lens, gentlemen. Get rid of that double chin of yours. And once done with the photo shoot, we can go to the background eraser app. And we're going to be using our phone this time because we can. So this app is available on Android and is free to use. So first thing is we're going to crop our pictures to a 4:3 size. And this is the size that's being used by the SmartRace app. So remember always to have that framing. Once we do that, I'm playing around a little bit with the colors and the filters to make the car pop out nicely. And we're going to the background erase app using the magic button there, and it takes the background off. Because this car has a lot of white parts and we're using a white background, so it might the magic function might have taken off some chunks of the car. That's easy to repair. Don't stress about it too much because the icon we're going to have on the app will be pretty small, so any details missing is not a big deal. Once that's done, we saved our image in a PNG form, so with a transparent background. And we're going back to the SmartRace app to make the entry of a new car. Putting in the details, I like to start with the car's number, the one that displays on the body, because it makes it a lot easier to find the car I want, especially if you have cars of the same brand but with different livery. Putting on all the details, I always love to choose the sound for a specific car. The app actually allows you that. So every time that car goes past the start-finish line, the app reproduces that specific sound. It's so cool. I love it. Small details, but this is what makes a difference. So now we're going to work on our driver. And that's my pretty face there. Again, 3:4 now. Size for this picture. Going back to the background erase. We erase that. You can see that my hoodie there has been left. I'm using the manual mode to clean that up. A general rule, if you can see your neck, keep the neck of the driver. If not, like in my case, I have a little bit longer facial hair. So I'm just cleaning the background around that. And you will see why. So once you're happy with the picture, you save it, get out of that app, and small surprise, I pre-prepared the race suits of the drivers of 3 major racing championships. And if you're a member of the Bro Army, it's totally free for you. If not though, or you want to use the body from another racer, from a different championship maybe, you can do it yourself. Just use the method we previously used for head and for the car. After you have the body and the head, it's just a matter of putting them together. If you want to go funny, you can create a bubblehead version of our driver. And here we have it. Going back to SmartRace, menu, drivers. You can see different examples of other drivers that I did. We're adding a new. I'm putting the name of test as a generic because it is an example. The spoken name, which is the actually voiceover, AI voiceover of the app that actually pronounces your name. Another small detail that I love. The picture here, you can see that half the head missing, but that's not the case. Once it's saved, you can see the full picture. And this is how it gets displayed on the race screen. So look at that, not bad, right? So you can easily do that for every racer that comes to your track to race. And with that, we are done with all the settings and it's time to see it in action.
Lights out and away we go.
Hey Crafty, hey guys. Thanks for making this video. It's actually pretty hard to make a video like this myself with crossed eyes, you know. So thank you for making it. But next time, please use a proper thumbnail, a proper image of me on your thumbnail, you know. That's really gets me from the wrong angle, you know. Thank you.